What's good, YouTube hooligans? It's your boy TornadoMcRae back at it again with another video for you. It's Wednesday and y'all know how we get down and we get it popping because we got a lot of stuff to talk about in the... Hey! What's up, Great Gnome Wizard? How you doing, man? Oh, hey, you see your boy getting up there, right? I got 153 now. You see your boy moving? You see it? Oh, so do we get to learn your name finally? Hey. So what is your name? Jernome? Alright, that's cool. That's cool. So what's your full name, Mr. Wizard? Oh, Jernome is your middle name. So what's your whole name? Gerald Jernome the Gnome.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Alright, I rock with it. Though. Triple G. That's what we're gonna call you from now on. Alright, Triple G. You with that? You cool? Alright, cool. So what do we get to know what kind of powers you got? Like right now, because we hit the 150? I gotta amass 200 subscribers to know what powers you have. Okay. I mean, that's cool. Like, is there anything else I get to know? All right, I guess you will be on your way. I guess I'll see you next week. Rude. All right, guys. So we found out what the gnome's name is, and I don't know if I'm gonna call him Gerald. I don't know if I'm gonna call him Jernome. We're gonna call him Triple G. I like it, and he seems like a good guy. He seems like he got his head on straight and whatnot. But back to the task at hand, back to the topic at hand, guys. We got just a few things to hit on this week. You know what? I'm gonna go in reverse order. So I want to start with the basic stuff to get out the way. Then we're gonna go to the big topic at hand because I know y'all want to know my thoughts. First and foremost, the John Collins trade for Rudy Gay. I only have one response to that, to be truthful with y'all.
We do not care.
I simply do not care. And to be truthful, it's just gonna give Trae Young fans more of a cushion to say, oh, we don't have anybody for Trae Young. That's why he's not doing so well. Whatever. I really don't care. Don't have a lot of time and energy to spend on it. But the shocker of that trade, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I didn't know Rudy Gay was still in the league.
I'm over here.
I didn't pay attention to Utah games like that after Donovan Mitchell left. So excuse the out of me. I just didn't know. Now, another one, it's kind of saddening to talk about this, but it just hurts me to see it. Reports are coming in that Lonzo Ball is not going to be able to play next year either because of his knee injury.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
And that just sucks for him, bro. Lonzo, I didn't believe the hype when he first came into the league, like the hype that his dad was praising him. I'm not mad at LeVar for praising his own son, not saying that or anything of that nature. I just didn't believe Lonzo was worth the hype, but I didn't think he was a bad player from what I saw at UCLA. And after the Lakers stint, he was really starting to turn his career around. New Orleans was a great fit for him. And then when he got to Chicago, I thought he took his game to the next level. And I was like, that's the all-star point guard a lot of people saw in LA. And it sucks that injuries are derailing his career. I hate to see it. I don't like to see any athlete who has a lot of promise have their potential and the height of their career shortened due to injury. I can't stand that. So, Lonzo, hope you have a fast recovery, my dude. And I hope you can play sooner rather than later. And I don't want this to be the end of your career. Moving forward, I got to touch on something that the number 2 overall draft pick said. And it hits me personally. So, for those of you who don't know, Brandon Miller from Alabama went number 2 overall in the NBA draft this past week. And when they asked who is his GOAT, like, of NBA, of all time, Brandon Miller said Paul George.
What?
Oh my God, please. Let it be known. These niggas don't know shit.
Now y'all know me. Y'all know me. Paul George is my boy. Y'all know this. Brandon, what the f? Bro, no. Like, in order for Brandon Miller to say that statement, I'm gonna need him to always lead with subjectively. He is my GOAT. I can't have him say objectively Paul George is the greatest of all time. No, bro, no. For example, when I get into who is the greatest hip hop artist or rap artist of all time, I always preface with objectively or subjectively to me. Because I tell everybody, subjectively, for me, it is Lupe Fiasco. Objectively, for most of the world, like when I say objectively, I'm giving an answer that I know the general world population will agree with. And I know most of the world says Jay-Z. I don't agree with that. But I understand that as an objective answer. So, Brandon Miller, I didn't watch the full interview. So I didn't get to see exactly if he said objectively or subjectively. But I did hear him say, he's like, what can't Paul George do? He can shoot the three. He can shoot the mid-range. He can defend. He can score. He can do X, Y, and Z. He's not afraid of the big moment. Again, I am a Paul George fan. But when Paul George himself has said he knew when to be a number two and that he wasn't, or he didn't feel confident as that number one guy anymore, the GOAT conversation was done, bro. That's why he teamed up with Kawhi. That's why even in OKC, he was two to Russ. Him and Melo.
Yes, sir. This nigga spitting.
I love Paul George, and I stand 10 toes down with him. That's still my favorite player in the league right now, but he's not in the GOAT conversation. Even objectively, if you want to look at the stats, league MVPs, no. Defensive player of the years, no. Scoring titles, no. Assist leader, no. Rebounding title, no. And then finals appearances, none. Eastern Conference Finals appearances, 1. Western Conference Finals appearances, 1 with the Clippers. If they made it to the Western Conference Finals that year, yeah, 1. I can't put anybody with a resume like that nowhere near the GOAT conversation.
He ain't lying.
The objective GOAT conversation. That's just me. Now, if you're asking me my favorite players, or if they would have asked Brandon, who's your favorite player to watch, cool. It makes sense. But I just had to address that, bro. And I might go back and rewatch the full interview to get context. I just thought that was hilarious, especially coming from that angle. However, I will say, I respect this draft because a lot of people in this draft were putting a lot of respect on players like Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and other players in the league as guys they emulate and look up to. So I feel like other guys in the league are starting to get the recognition that they deserve. And it's nice to see that. It's definitely nice to see that. And speaking of draft, last Thursday night, the draft officially occurred. Victor Wembanyama is officially a San Antonio Spur.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh, better luck next time, buddy. Woo!
Now, I've been hearing rumors that the draft is rigged now. And you know what? I'm inclined to believe that Bro, let's think about it. Let's think about it. You mean to tell me Greg Popovich has drafted David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now Victor Wembanyama?
Bruh.
Bro, how lucky can you get? Or you just knew when to tank? I don't know, bro. That's kind of crazy. But if y'all don't know the draft order, I only know the top 5. That's all I cared about, or all I cared to find out about. Victor Wembanyama went 1. Surprise, Brandon Miller went number 2 to the Charlotte Hornets. Scoot Henderson went 3 to go to Portland and team up with Dame. We're going to talk about that. And shout out to the Thompson twins, Amir and Asar. Yeah, Asar, going 4 and 5. The first pair of twins ever to go in the same draft, or at least as lottery picks. Shout out to them. And shout out to everybody else who was drafted into the NBA. Your dreams are coming true. Hope all of you have a successful career. Overall, with my thoughts on Victor, I hope he has a great career. I have the same concern about his skinniness and his slender build that I had with Kevin Durant when he came into the league. But Kevin Durant, also being a once-in-a-lifetime generation talent, has proven that he can hold his own there. So it's possible that Victor can do the same. And also, people who were saying we've never seen something like this, y'all do realize Bol Bol is still in the league over in Miami. Or not Miami, in Orlando.
He copied my whole fucking flow! Word for word, bar for bar! Don't act like I didn't.
And he's been balling. Like Bol Bol, I honestly thought to myself, if given the chance, if people really took him seriously and didn't just say, oh, that's Manute Bol's son, and he's really tall and lanky, and didn't pass on him, like they really believed in him and encouraged him, man could be nice. And if y'all go back and look at the Orlando Magic tape, man's been kind of nice. So Victor, hopefully you can prove everybody wrong, and I'm really interested to see how you and Chet, if he gets healthy, go at it for the next few years. Also, at 7'5", if Victor adds Dirk Nowitzki's fade, the one-footed fade, to his arsenal, whoa, who the f is guarding that? Who can block that? We're gonna have to wait for an 8'2" dude to come into the league to block it. It's just wild. Bro, what did your mama feed you? Like, what did my parents not feed me growing up that they fed y'all? Like, I need to know, bro. I missed out somewhere. Where was the meal prep? Where was the cereal that made y'all just stretch out like this? I'm still pissed off at the doctor that told me I was supposed to be 6'7" when I was 9 years old because I was in like the 98th percentile for my height.
That's not fair! That's not fair!
Now here I am, making YouTube videos. Yes, I'm salty, but it's all good. I love to see young cats get paid. I love to see young men get paid. No worries about it, especially when they've worked hard for it. Now, speaking of draft and Scoot Henderson, according to reports, Dame Lillard has now recommitted to staying in Portland to work with Scoot in the rebuild.
Stop it. Get some help.
I respect the loyalty, but damn, Dame, are you gonna let Portland go into a rebuild? Shout out to TSO Sage for opening this perspective on it. I just watched his video on this. At this point, if Portland's trying to rebuild and redo whatever it is new, like go in a new direction, they can't do it with Dame still there. Because Dame's still seen as the face of the franchise, unless they make it blatantly clear, nope, Scoot is now our number one. You're taking the back burner. I don't foresee that. I don't foresee that. At least not right now. Maybe 2-3 years down the line, but who knows? I'm just saying, if you're the Portland front office, you're just like, now he's holding us hostage. We ain't never gonna get rid of him until he retires, are we? Nope. Not at all. Oh, and speaking of retirements, guys, I got a theory. Was it 2023? LeBron James will retire after the 2024-2025 season.
Hey, ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit, man.
Who told you that? Who gave you that piece of information?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And this is why. We all see it coming. Guys, go ahead, get your tickets ready, and get ready for the farewell tour. If Bronny James comes out and declares for the draft next spring, after this season at USC, LeBron James' final season will be the 2024-2025 NBA season. He will go wherever Bronny goes, they will play a year together, and he will call it quits. And when that happens, I salute you, LeBron James. You guys heard it here first on June 28th, 2023. When the announcement's made, come back to this video. Come back to this video. I'm just saying. As we transition over, second biggest item on the list now. Marcus Smart was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. And within this trade, Kristaps Porzingis was sent to the Boston Celtics.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Huh? I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I did not see that coming. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad move. Not saying that at all. because you knew y'all were going to have to tweak something in Boston. Y'all had to change something. Jalen, Jason, Marcus, Horford, somebody was going to have to go to tweak all of that. But to go get Porzingis? Granted, I've been hearing Porzingis had a career year in DC, apparently career highs in all of his major areas. I ain't watched him. After he kind of flopped in Dallas, I haven't really been paying attention to KP like that. I haven't. I'm not sorry to say it either. So if he's really been balling and this works out, cool. But do you pair him alongside Horford in your front court with Robert Williams? Do you put Horford to the bench, put him there, and then who do you bring up? What? Grant Williams and somebody else as the starting point? This is going to be an interesting mesh for Brad Stevens and Mazzulla to put together. I don't know how they're going to do it, but that's not for me to decide. I've heard from a good amount of Celtics fans. I've heard some say they were really pissed off about it. One of my friends, they told me straight up they weren't too happy with Bradley Stevenson right now. But, I mean, they also know Marcus wasn't the greatest asset. And I've seen that actually from a good amount of fans. They noticed Marcus was taking a lot of shots, but not hitting them at an efficient clip to be taking as many shots as he did. So, it is what it is. Now, was he the heart and soul of that team? Yes. But this now forces Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to step up and take on that role and really see if they can lead that team, because he was also their veteran leadership. And going to Memphis, that actually might be what they need. They might need that because, let's be honest, he's a better Dylan Brooks.
You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied.
Marcus Smart is a way better version of Dylan Brooks. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Way better version of Dylan Brooks. Shout out to Memphis for easily filling the role that Dylan Brooks, that they got rid of, that Dylan Brooks occupied. Now we get to the meat and potatoes and the big one of the evening.
And here we go.
Jordan Poole getting packed up like an Amazon Prime box and shipped off to Washington, D.C. 2 days after new General Manager Mike Dunleavy said, we are looking forward to keeping Jordan Poole for 4 years and more. For Chris Paul.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? That don't make no sense.
Bruh.
Bro, when I tell y'all, when I saw this trade in my group chat, I immediately said, ain't no fucking way. That doesn't make sense. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Lo and behold, 2 minutes later, my phone starts blowing the hell up. Jordan Poole has been traded for Chris Paul. And I'm like, what? Like, first of all, here's the deal. We're going to talk about the Warriors situation first. Getting rid of Jordan makes absolutely the most sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Because one, he seemed very disinterested, very disconnected from the team throughout the whole season. And you could see it in his play on the court. You could see it in the way he approached leadership. He essentially was playing like a spoiled kid who acted like he didn't have to listen to anybody now that he got his contract extension. Disregarding Steph, disregarding Clay, disregarding Andrew, disregarding Iggy, disregarding Draymond, Steve Kerr, all the coaching staff. I mean, dude was acting like he was dropping 35 a night when you could barely get 15 to 20 consistently out of him. And I know numbers-wise, he averaged 20 over the season, but when you watch the games, it wasn't a consistent 20. And it showed in the playoffs. Turnovers went up, rebounds went down. Yeah, his numbers went up, but his efficiency also went down, and so did his free throw percentage. And in terms of Golden State's financial situation, it makes a lot of sense. Draymond opts out of a contract, right? As we talked about last week. Jordan's $128 million extension starts next season. So if you're not trying to pay that, you trade him before that starts. You do. You got to. Or you officially say, Draymond, you're gone. We're not bringing you back. Because we all knew, every logical basketball fan knew, Draymond or Poole was getting let go by the Warriors after this season. It was just a matter of which one they were going to go with. Were they going to go with the core or were they going to go with the established vet? And in my mind, they made the right choice to go with the vet because at least with Draymond, I know they could probably talk him into restructuring the contract to bring in pieces to make it work and keep their championship window open. Even as bad as they played on the road this year, they were 2 games away from the Western Conference Finals again.
He ain't lying.
with Jordan Poole playing like but for Chris Paul made no fucking sense. I'm okay with trading Poole, but trading Poole for Chris Paul made no sense. And here's why. Play style, it doesn't mesh. You can't run Chris Paul in that small ball lineup because you're gonna run him at the one and get exposed by what? Dame, Ja, Luka, whoever said it, Murray, whoever flipping Phoenix decides to throw at him. He's not young Chris Paul. He's not that defensive stopper that he was in New Orleans and LA and the Rockets even a little bit. He's not only that, he's injury prone like hell. How are you going to be able to keep him for most of the season if you need him? Or even in the playoffs? Hell, the Warriors have taken advantage of the fact that he's not healthy. Let's keep it a buck. The Warriors, granted, injuries are a part of the game, but if I'm the Warriors, I would have taken advantage of Chris Paul not being available for Game 7 too, back in his Houston days. So why are you going to go for the older version of him when he was already like that back then? Makes no sense. And the way their offense flows, I don't think that suits Chris Paul. I don't. Chris Paul has predominantly been a point guard who orchestrates the offense through him, whereas their offense can flow through anybody and is predominantly flowed through Draymond running the point. So I don't know how Chris plays off ball when he's not the main ball handler like that. It's going to be an interesting situation if they keep him. But there's another aspect. It's like ego-wise, if you're not running Chris Paul to start the point, you think he's going to want to come off the bench? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Chris Paul has too big of an ego as a guard and thinks he's still a starting point guard in the league. Not saying he's not. Definitely not saying he's not. Chris Paul is still holding it down and can be a starting point guard in the league. Let's clear the air out. But he's not going to want to come off the bench for somebody else. That's just the nature of Chris Paul. So ego doesn't mesh, play style doesn't mesh, he's injury prone, it just doesn't add up. So the only reason I think the Warriors made this trade is because they're working something in the shadows that none of us can see. And I say it like this, because when Chris Paul got traded away from Phoenix to DC, everybody's like, damn, Chris Paul's stock has dropped. You know what? His career's over. X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. But then he gets traded from DC to back to a contender in Golden State. So it's like, whoa. They got Chris Paul. Whoa, wait a minute. That's kind of, some people, not all, a very small percentage, but I have to say, some people are like, whoa, that's kind of stacking the deck. Or the Warriors are trying to stack the deck again. So I think they're trying to get Chris Paul's value up, and then they're going to try and move him again. I don't see him being a Golden State Warrior. It just doesn't add up to me. I know they've said it, like we want Chris Paul to be here and whatnot, but Mike Dunleavy, you just pulled a veteran GM move lying to Jordan Poole. You think I'm going to believe you keeping Chris Paul? Especially all the bad blood and animosity they've had over the years. Steph and Chris and Kerr and Chris. Come on now, Mike. Come on now. I don't know what Golden State has cooking, but they got something cooking. But overall, guys, it's been an interesting week 2 of the NBA offseason. I don't know what's going to take forward. I don't know what's going to happen going forward, but I'm actually looking forward to it. And you guys are going to see everything that I see in real time. I'm just going to give y'all my reaction. But with that being said, I'm rambling. I know, I apologize. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit this notification bell at the bottom. Y'all know how it goes. Helps my algorithm, and it lets your auntie know when I'm dropping new videos because she loves me like that. I'm her favorite neighbor. Hey, auntie, what's up? And also, guys, you saw the No Wizard. He's here. He sees our progress. Let's continue on this road to 200 subscribers. We're making headways. I love all of you. I thank each and every one of you for your support and continued love on these videos. And at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all of you. I'm out.